I've been watching baseball for a long time, and I have never seen a play like this. Edmundo Sosa, the shortstop for the Cardinals yesterday, who was pretty good defensively, he must have thought that the umpire was Paul Goldschmidt. Now, luckily, the umpire was okay. He is a tough guy, but again, I've never seen anything like that before. What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about today, so if this is your first time on the channel, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, as well as use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save 20 bucks off any baseball game that you're going to anytime soon. The San Francisco Giants are the first team in Major League Baseball to clinch a playoff spot. The Astros put up 15 runs yesterday. The Blue Jays erupted, and then also the Red Sox versus the Yankees. It could not be closer for the wild card. Now, I guess we have some breaking news. I am torn on how to feel about this because back in the day, Braun was one of my favorite players in baseball, but finding out that he took steroids in college, now it was to help an injury, but then he continued to take steroids and stole an MVP from Matt Kemp. Apparently, he is announcing his retirement today, so let me know in the comment section down below. Are you happy that Braun is retiring, or have you forgiven him and just hope that he enjoys retirement? I think I'm in the latter group. I just hope that he enjoys himself and is able to forgive himself because he ruined a lot of people's lives. Let's move on over to the lone walk-off from yesterday. We have the Yankees versus the Twins, and I thought the Yankees were about to get punched in the face yesterday, and they kind of did for the first half of this game. Jorge Polanco hits his 30th home run, which is a Twins record for switch hitters. Miguel Sano adds a 2-run home run off of Luis Gil. It is not Gil, it's Luis Gil. I just want to make sure you guys know that. Gil throws a meatball to Byron Buxton, but he got through 6 innings, so I want to tip my cap to him. Max Kepler made a fantastic play over in right field. The Yankees almost traded for Kepler instead of Gallo, but they went with Joey. Now, a run scores on the sac fly, and speaking of Joey, he hits a home run, and he has a 400 on-base percentage over his last 5 games. Please keep that up, Joey. I need that in my life, okay? The Twins do get screwed over by the umpire on a strike that was called a ball. Baldelli gets ejected, and then Judge, he clutches up. He goes the other way for his 33rd home run. He has a 151 OPS plus and a 5.2 WAR. The Yankees bullpen holds it into extras where Gary walks it off. That was a huge victory for the Yankees. Speaking of huge victories, the Mariners just barely got past the Boston Red Sox, but let's go ahead and recap the game. Ty France gets an RBI on a double play, and Seattle grabs another in the second, but enter Jose Iglesias. He played for the Red Sox a few years ago. He's back on the team. He hits a home run in the 3rd inning and then has a game-tying single in the 5th. Erod Eduardo Rodriguez only allows 1 earned run in 6 innings, and Logan Gilbert had 9 strikeouts in 6 innings, so they were both pretty good. Kyle Schwarber, this error leads to a couple guys getting on base, and Mitch Haniger blasts off for home run number 33. If Trey Mancini did not exist, I think that Mitch Haniger would be your favorite to win comeback player of the year. He has a 123 OPS plus, but the things that Trey Mancini has done this year, absolutely, you can't beat that. Xander Bogaerts and Devers both go yard off of Paul Sewald, and Steckenrider, he's been really good. Knock on wood, I don't want to jinx it. He strikes out 2 for his 9th save as the Mariners, they win 5-4. You have Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Grichuk bringing in the first 2 runs, and then Bravich Valera, he has been fantastic as of late. He drives in 2 RBIs. Bo Bichette goes yard for his 24th home run. He has 22 stolen bases and a 4.6 WAR. Gurriel adds another RBI single, and Valera has his second 3 RBI day in the last 3 or 4 days. Vladdy, he passes Shohei Ohtani and his dad. Vlad Sr., his career high was 44 home runs and a 162 OPS plus back in 2000. Both of those, again, were career highs. Vladdy Jr. has 45 home runs and 174 OPS plus, so he is kind of crushing his daddy, and he's in the Hall of Fame. Kevin Kiermaier makes a jaw-dropping play in center field, but Alek Manoah was fantastic. 10 strikeouts, no walks, only 1 hit in 8 shutout innings. So to wrap up the AL wildcard standings, Toronto is now 1 game ahead of first place. The Yankees and the Red Sox are tied for second. The Mariners are 2 games back, and the A's are 2.5 games back. The Giants faced off against the Padres, and the more I look at the Padres, the more I kind of feel embarrassed that this is how their season is going. Now, they have had some injuries, but still, their core is pretty solid. Listella smacks a leadoff home run, Wade triples in Darren Ruff. Brandon Crawford is able to get on, and Evan Longoria takes advantage with a 3-run home run, his 12th of the season. He has a 150 OPS plus. If he can keep on doing this for the next 2 or 3 years, he has a chance of making the Hall Hall of Fame. Mike Yastrzemski goes 422 feet, and Brandon Belt just beats that, going 423 feet. My Cy Young pick, yeah, he gave up 8 runs. I cannot believe that I chose Yu Darvish, but Jacob deGrom would have been my second pick. He's been injured, so I don't think that anyone was going to be right unless you pick Max Scherzer or Corbin Burns. Longoria drives in his 4th RBI, and the Giants, like we mentioned in the intro, are their first team in Major League Baseball to secure a playoff spot after their 8th win in a row. And in San Francisco history, this was the earliest that a team has clinched a spot. My hat's off to them. My hat's off especially to Gabe Kapler, because everyone wrote that guy off as a horrible manager when he was with the Phillies, but between 2020 and 2021, he's been fantastic. The Dodgers faced off against the Diamondbacks, and Kershaw had his first start in 2 months, and Belly, I'm not sure what he is doing both offensively and defensively. He is usually pretty rock solid, but here he makes an errant throw. Corey Seager drives in Mookie Betts right before Justin Turner doubles in 2 more. He has 80 RBIs and a near 130 OPS plus. Reminder, a 100 OPS plus is considered average, so he has been really good. Kershaw strikes out 5 over 4 1/3 and gets taken out after 50 pitches. Vesia strikes out 2 to end the 6th, and then Barnes, he brings home Gavin Lux. Gavin Lux has gotten on base at a 700 clip over his last 4 games since being called back up, and then Justin Turner smacks his 25th home run. And last but not least, for kind of the important games for the National League, the Cardinals, they beat the Mets, and it wasn't even close. You had 41-year-old Rich Hill versus 40-year-old Adam Wainwright. Adam Wainwright strikes out Jeff McNeil on a curveball, which was very reminiscent of the Carlos Beltran strikeout way back in the day, and he actually said that he did that on purpose to remind Mets fans. He's a savage. Dylan Carlson doubles in Molina. He has a 2.4 WAR and 50 RBIs. Has been pretty good in his sophomore year. Paul Goldschmidt drives in his 83rd RBI and then his 84th on his 25th home run, and all of this was for Adam Wainwright, who threw 6 shutout innings. He now has a 2.88 ERA, and he's approaching 50 WAR for his career. Just like Evan Longoria, if he can do this for the next 2 or 3 years, I know that he's going to be old, but he might have a chance of making the Hall of Fame and squeaking in. Alex Reyes, he strikes out the side in the 8th, and he was pumped up because we all know he was removed from the closer's role, so he's trying to prove his worth. The Cardinals are up for 4 runs in the 9th inning. They had 15 hits yesterday. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and they're so close to the wild card. Let me break it down. The Reds are a half game ahead of the Padres and the Cardinals. So the Padres and the Cardinals are tied for a half game back. The Phillies are 2.5 games back, and the Mets are 3.5 games back. Astros, oh my goodness, if you're a Rangers fan, close your ears and eyes. You have Yuli Gurriel and Carlos Correa smoking a few base hits to make it 3-0. Altuve doubles in 2 more in the 2nd. Yordan Alvarez, he wasn't done after this first home run. We'll talk about him later. He has 29 home runs on this one. And Jose Siri has a 2-run shot as well, along with Alex Bregman. So 3 2-run shots, I believe, in this game. Siri makes it a 4 RBI day. I don't even know where Houston is able to find guys like Jake Myers and Chaz McCormick, and then Miles Straw, even though he got traded, and along with Jose Siri. Yordan Alvarez goes 422 feet for his 30th home run, and then Siri wasn't done. His 2nd home run of the day. He has 5 RBIs and his first career start. Good for him. And then last but not least, the Marlins versus the Nationals. I'm being genuinely serious. I think that Sandy Alcantara has top 5 stuff in Major League Baseball. But first, Jesus Sanchez, he brings in the first run of the game, and it stays that way until the 9th inning as Paulo Espino strikes out 6, only allows that 1 run. Sandy, he took a no-hitter into the 7th inning, and the dude was pumping 99 plus miles an hour into the 8th. He ended the day with 1 hit, 7 strikeouts on 0 walks, and then Alex Jackson, he doubles in 2 more to make it 3-0 as Floro shuts it down for the save. Sandy now has a 1.79 ERA over his last 6 starts, and I think the 2nd most strikeouts in baseball in the last 6 starts, so he has been incredible. All right, everyone, well, that does it for today's MLB recap. There weren't very many games yesterday, so again, that does it. Let me know if you learned anything new. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on Ryan Braun, and enjoy this day in MLB history.
Rip to right, down the line, fair ball! Around third, Ramirez will score! It's a walk-off for number 22!